Alright guys, so we're in the first session of training and getting it. We're learning.
De-rig one case at a time. So if I have like the 702 case out, I'll do all of that and then I'll move on to the next case or the next case. I find that's just easier in terms of packing up so you don't miss anything. At the end of the day, I know I work in a rental house, I might be a little biased, but you know, pack things accordingly. There's specific cutouts for certain things. I find people in the union are terrible at putting things away. I don't know why, but yeah, exactly. They make too much money and have too much overtime to carry, if not six.
Like, that's per day.
Yeah, before overtime.
Yeah, that's before overtime. You always do overtime.
And a second AC, at least CPAT right now, a second's 460 something. I think 464. Yeah. So yeah, every year, and like that's, you know, the CPAT website's a good website to kind of reference if you want to see like union rates and CPAT rates and stuff, and it's a good way of like reading that stuff over is very good way of protecting yourself. I'm gonna take the lens off, and then I'm gonna grab that cap. For a second.
Notice the way he places the lens.
Yeah, you always want to put it down and not on the actual mount itself. I'll actually cover that up. Just taking a look for that cap.
Also, like, you'll rarely have,
Like I said, one item into a case, but I'll sometimes go from the front back and vice versa.
Okay.
Are
Are you looking for the lighting there?
Yeah, I just think have some stuff in the back.
Okay. I'll go find them for you.
Thanks, Danny.
No problem.
And they're also calling on the wall.
So one thing with the Amira, it's viewfinder. This might be the way just because that's how our case is. I'm not sure if other rental houses are like that, but this cable, it's kind of like a mini HDMI, and then this cap goes right over it. What I really like about this, even though HDMIs are really crappy cables, this lock front. Specific cables back in their specific cases because they can be very proprietary. Like these VCLX cables, one will only plug into those batteries and this end will only plug into this camera. So they make specific cables for certain batteries, for certain cameras. Like the cable for the red is very different. It's still a 3-pin on the one side, but it's a different, I think, yeah, it should be a 4-pin.
Taking off right there?
This is a magic arm. So this is for any sort of accessory, monitors, Teradeks. If you just need a way to mount an item to the camera, a magic arm's always the go-to solution for most people. I'm not a fan of these plates because I've had issues with them. I've seen cameras fall off them. They're not most reliable in my opinion. I still think a dovetail is a much better way. But usually you won't ever have to do that. But just in case if you're going from like one tripod head to another, like say they have this exact same head on the crane or whatever it may be, it's easier to do that than switch the whole head and vice versa. So I'll lock that back in. But in terms of the quick release plate, there's a little gold button right here. I'll wait till your camera gets there, and a switch. So if you hold that button and pop that back, that plate's gonna come up now. And now, we can unscrew the VCT plate. And the reason why I'm doing that, because this plate technically gets packed up with the camera kit, and the quick release plate gets packed up with the tripod kit. Now, to be quite honest with you, if I was on a show or on a job, I would put the VCT plate in the tripod bin, because that's the only time I'm ever gonna use it.
Right.
But returning to the rental house, I'm gonna put it back how they kind of sent it out. And at the end of the day, like it's one of those things too, like you always wanna try and have it in the proper position.
When you spin it a little bit.
Yeah, so wiggle it around a little. You wiggle it. Yeah, so now you'll see it here. So at that point, yeah, like I would just tilt the head forward, that way it's just facing the focus chart. And then you can screw in the base. Because that's kind of like your safety lock, so nothing happens to the cable.
Okay.
That's taking off the follow focus. It's just one of those things that's going to save you a couple extra minutes on set, which is going to save you a lot of time at the end of the day.
Okay.
For sure. Without unlocking that, so it's kind of like a safety lock.
Did you do that yourself?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's important.
This goes
SDI1, dude.
Village or the director's monitor. So they might send you a log image, that way you can pull off it while they have a Rec 709 image come out of SDI1 for Video Village, for the DIT, for the client.
Oh yeah, for the carpet.
Then
And
chances
for
are
you,
at home
it's okay
too.
because like we're just, it's for the scene.
Thank God it's all natural like this, or we would not be able to just set up a shot and then that's it.
We're just gonna practice and then we'll go.
That's a wrap. That's what's up.